Jeremy from Financial Education just lost everything in a stock that he invested in, Voyager Digital. He invested over $250,000 and he's now down 96% on this stock. Now, some of you may say, oh, well, everything in the stock market is down right now. But if you had invested in solid companies like the S&P 500, you'd only be down about 10 to 15%. Obviously, that's a loss. No one wants a loss, but it's not 96%. That's what happens when you listen to these scumbags on YouTube who are all about just making money for themselves. They recommend these terrible companies, and if you invest in this, you lose all your money. Now, Jeremy, he's a multimillionaire. He has his course that sells for several $1,000s. Losing $500,000, obviously, nobody wants to do that, but that's not really a big deal to him. He'll recover from this. It's not really that big of a deal. But obviously, a lot of his followers, they don't have millions of dollars, right? And he pumped this stock a lot back last year. He hasn't really talked about it much this year, but back in 2021, he talked about Voyager a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people who follow him, who listen to him, who thinks he gives great stock advice, got involved in this stock, and now they're down 96%. They're completely wiped out. So we'll take a look at the video he did, but I want to break down what Voyager is first. So this is the Voyager stock right here, and you can see from November, when it was at its height, November 9th, it has lost 97%, right, in 8 months, not even a year. 8 months, the stock has lost 97%. Now, this stock is primarily involved in cryptocurrency. They are a cryptocurrency platform, and what they do primarily is they allow people to buy cryptocurrency and they charge fees. So if you want to buy some Bitcoin, they charge you some fees. They will sell you Bitcoin. There are other platforms to do this. Coinbase is much better. Voyager charges, their fees are way too high in my opinion. So basically they charge fees to people. That's primarily how they make money, but they will also lend cryptocurrency to big hedge funds. And that's primarily why they got in big trouble. They lended millions and millions of dollars or millions of Bitcoins to a cryptocurrency hedge fund, and then because of the price of Bitcoin went from 60 to 20K in just a few months, the cryptocurrency hedge fund was not able to pay back the amount of money that they owed Voyager. So they're now defaulting on a loan, and Voyager is not able to get about $300 million from these guys. And that's terrible for their company. So their stock price has plummeted in the past few weeks. Now, Voyager has not been doing well, primarily because cryptocurrency has not been doing well. And this entire company, it revolves all around cryptocurrency. When cryptocurrency is doing well, Voyager does well. But because the price has gone down massively on everything in the crypto market, Voyager is just not making money because their primary money source is charging fees for people who want to buy cryptocurrency from them. Since no one's really buying cryptocurrency, or a lot less people are buying cryptocurrency right now, their revenue stream is down massively. And this has hurt Jeremy immensely. He's down 96%. And this is the problem with Jeremy. He picks these terrible little junky companies that are basically, they're massive gambles, right? So when cryptocurrency was doing well, this company was doing pretty well. But when cryptocurrency plummets, this company goes in the gutter. They're worth basically nothing. Like Amazon, Tesla, Apple, all of these companies, they're still chugging along. Obviously, their stocks are down a little bit right now, but they're still making tons of money. Voyager, which is entirely in cryptocurrency and now doesn't make any money, they're getting pummeled. So this is why you should not be listening to these types of guys. These guys are already millionaires. He can throw $250,000 into this. It means nothing to him. For people who are watching, you're going to lose, everything you have. But let's go ahead and take a look at the video that he published.
Alrighty, folks, somber video time. It's kind of appropriate. It's raining here in Vegas. It's stormy, and we got to talk about this stock here and kind of what's happened, what's transpired, my feelings. I'm going to talk about it from every different angle here. So
obviously he's upset. Nobody wants to lose $250,000, but just keep in mind, don't feel bad for this guy. This guy has at least, I think, $15 to $20 million in net worth. So this is just a very small fraction of him. I'm sure the video is going to get him tons of views and tons of more interest in his channel, as opposed to, the $250,000 that he lost is really not a big deal to him.
So as you're seeing there, basically lost everything in the stock. That's $250,000.
That's what happens when you get involved in these terrible penny stocks that really, no one should be involved in, aside from just throwing a couple bucks as a lottery ticket into that type of stock.
and then a much smaller position in my public account. This is my main private account, which obviously is much bigger, account. So everything's going to be amplified in that account. But basically lost, everything in that stock. So, where do I even want to start? So in regards to that stock, how I even got into that in the first place was, I had no crypto exposure. And being that I have, millions of dollars of real estate, millions of dollars in stocks, it kind of seemed like I should get some exposure into crypto.
Okay, so if you want to get exposure into crypto, first off, crypto is very volatile, extremely volatile. I'm not saying not to get involved in it, it's up to you. But if you want to get involved in it, just buy Bitcoin or buy Ethereum. Like, that's the safest bet in cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're going to be around for a long time. Jeremy, for whatever reason, decided not to buy cryptocurrency and instead decided to invest in a cryptocurrency stock company. Just seems like a really bad idea to me. You could have just bought Bitcoin.
But to be honest, I don't know what the big cryptos are going to be, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, Solana, all these different ones. And so I thought, well, I don't really know what's going to be the big cryptos, so I'm going to play the picks and shovels business, essentially. And the picks and shovels business is an idea that basically comes from the gold rush, and you can either be the company, or you can be the person trying to get the gold, or you can be the one selling the picks and shovels, right? So I said...
So basically what he's talking about is the gold rush in California, lots of other places as well, back in the 1800s. A lot of people came out to California to get rich mining gold, and the majority of them did not. I think it was like 98% of them didn't actually make money. But there was a bunch of businesses that popped up in California who were selling shovels, who were selling jeans, who were selling all these mining supplies to these people who were going out trying to get rich mining, right? And those people got incredibly rich. All of these businesses selling shovels to other people got rich. So Jeremy thought, oh, well, I'll get involved in this company that sells cryptocurrency to people, and I'll get rich off of that, while these other people who are involved in cryptocurrency, they're chumps and they're going to lose all their money. So obviously Jeremy, you can tell, doesn't really care about cryptocurrency. He was just trying to get rich off of the rush of it from people currently investing in it.
Said, okay, Voyager Digital, I looked at the company. At that time, they were cash loaded. They had revenues that were exploding. They were getting a profitability. So everything with underlying business model looked actually really, really good. And it was actually trading at a really low PE. And so
I would have to disagree and say that that company does not look good, primarily because their entire revenue stream, every single dollar that this company makes, comes from cryptocurrency, okay? Cryptocurrency, like I said before, I've been in cryptocurrency since 2017. It's extremely, extremely volatile, right? And if you want to invest yourself in cryptocurrency, that's fine. But under no circumstances would I ever want to get involved investing in a company that's involved in cryptocurrency, because I know that there are massive swings in this, right? Bitcoin went from 60K to 20K, right? No one knows where it's going to be at the end of the year. It could be 40K, it could be 10K, it could be 100K. Nobody knows, right? If it goes down even more, Voyager is going to get completely wrecked. That they make all of their money from selling cryptocurrency to people. If no one's buying cryptocurrency, this company is a complete dud.
I said, okay, if I'm going to get exposure in the space, I'd rather do this than buying, some crypto straight up. So went ahead and did that. And then there was a change, and I stopped buying the dip in that stock. Now, if you know me, most of the time I continue to buy the dip in a stock. Like, if the Chef goes down, I keep buying it. If Oatly keeps going down, I keep buying it. If Honest or PayPal or Meta or any of these stocks that, had been obviously killed in this crash, if those go down, I usually keep
So what he's saying, all of these stocks that have been killed in this crash, Meta, Facebook, whatever, they have not been killed to the extent that a lot of his other picks have been, like Tattooed Chef, or those types of companies are not blue chip stocks, right? He invests in a lot of companies that he's hoping are basically lottery tickets that will 10x someday, as opposed to solid companies that aren't going to 10x, but they're going to have consistent revenue and 2-3x in a couple of years, as opposed to trying to get a lottery ticket 10x win, when potentially that could turn around and bite you in the butt and you lose all your money.
Buying them. Voyager is a very different situation. I didn't keep buying that one. I stopped buying that one I probably stopped buying that one in 2021. And as it went down and down, just not buying. And the reason being is not because I predicted some massive crypto crash that was going to come. I wish I was that intelligent. The reason I stopped buying that stock was I watched a lot of the biggest finance creators try to, basically, if you don't know, like fintech companies will work out deals with creators and like affiliate deals or sponsorship deals and things like that, right? And with Voyager, some of the biggest creators in the world on social media would go to this company and try to work out deals, and Voyager wouldn't like show any love, like want to do any deals. Meanwhile, Voyager would spend their advertising budget on NASCAR and these different things. And so I started looking at that and I'm just like, I don't know what the heck this management team's doing, man, but I'm not going to buy this stock anymore. I'm just going to hold what I got. And
Voyager, for those who are in cryptocurrency, like I said, I've been in since 2017. Voyager is basically like a bad version of Coinbase. Coinbase in the US is where most people buy Bitcoin and Ethereum from. They're a well-established company. I don't remember exactly when they started, but way before I got in 2017. They've been around for a long time. Voyager came around after Coinbase many years later and has tried to steal some of the market share of Coinbase, right? They are basically, Voyager is like the Pepsi to Coinbase's Coca-Cola. I wouldn't even say they're Pepsi. They're basically some like third brand, lower tier RC Cola, basically. So Voyager is like RC Cola to Coinbase's Coke. They're a very bottom of the barrel company, and this is not a company, in my opinion, anyone should be investing more than a few dollars in. But Jeremy, he has so much money, he loves to gamble on these types of companies.
And unfortunately, I've held, and I went down with the Titanic in this situation. And unlike many other stocks in the market, this one might never come back.
Yep.
If I had to guess, it's probably never coming back.
Yep.
And there's a higher probability it goes to zero than goes to anything else. And that...
Yeah, to clarify on that, like I said, this company is all about selling cryptocurrency to people. They make money off the fees. Basically, cryptocurrency has to have a revival in the next few months, right? Cryptocurrency has to start going way back up. More people have to start buying a bunch of Bitcoin, Ethereum, all this stuff. If that doesn't happen in the next few months, Voyager is going to go bankrupt. Because like I said, they make all their money from selling fees, from selling cryptocurrency to people. If people don't start buying cryptocurrency like crazy in the next few months, this company will most definitely go bankrupt.
That obviously sucks. It's not fun to lose that much money. If you're a stock picker for long enough, eventually you're going to pick one that, they don't make it through. And
you can absolutely pick solid companies, right? You pick blue chip companies, and you're never going to have, most likely, you're never going to have a company lose 97% of its value if you're picking solid blue chip companies that people should actually be investing in. If you invest in the S&P 500, right, you're not going to have one of the companies in the S&P 500 lose 97% of his value. This guy is a gambler, right? And so he's gambling, and sometimes he loses, right? And he doesn't really explain that very well to people. A lot of his people, his channel is called Financial Education. So people's like, oh, this guy legit, he knows what he's talking about. But he's basically a gambler at this point and invests in all of these terrible companies.
Most of these companies, I think they're going to be much higher prices than they ever were in the past. I don't think that's likely going to be the situation with Voyager. I think it's very unlikely. So I'm just holding my shares. We'll see what happens. If it goes to zero, it goes to zero. But that's kind of my stance on it. And sucks, man.
Well, there you go. That's how Jeremy from Financial Education lost 97% of his money in Voyager Digital by investing in a company. In my opinion, nobody should really be investing in this company. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Like I said, it's not really a big deal for him. It's unfortunate for anyone who listened to him, because he was talking about the stock quite a lot last year. As he said, he hasn't really talked about it much this year, but last year he talked about it. And I'm sure a bunch of his followers who don't have multi-million dollars invested in this company thinking, oh, cryptocurrency is doing great right now. I'll invest in this company. I'll make a bunch of money. And now they're out everything, right? They've lost completely everything. So lesson to be learned, do not take financial advice from these guys on YouTube who have, almost 1 million subscribers. They're all about enriching themselves, especially he has a course that had, several $1,000s. He's all about making himself rich and then just providing this content that's basically, a lot of it's just clickbait. But leave your comments below. What do you think about Jeremy Financial Education losing all of his money on Voyager Digital?